Hey guys, Bridge here. In this video, I want to address a question which I recently received, and that is what would I do if I were to start again in UI UX with no design experience, no client portfolio, having worked with large clients and all that. What would I do if I forgot everything from scratch and I had to start from scratch? So, as you may know, just to give you a brief background, I actually attended a arts high school when I was in high school, and during that period of time, I learned the basics of fine arts. And on the side, I was learning digital design as well, but it was mainly on my own, taking also some online courses, but nothing really major. And then what I did afterwards is I went to the UK because I'm originally from Italy. And what I did there is I attended a 3 years course, a BA in graphic design at Ravensbourne University in London. And during that period of time, in the second year, I took an internship, and in the third year, I took a part-time job at a startup with 1.7 million pounds in funding. So it was already kind of established. They already were in business for 6 years. So this is just to give you some context as to where I started and where my career kickstarted, if you wish. But looking back, I would actually change what I did because truthfully, you don't really need a university degree in order to get started in UI UX design, and it was really expensive, especially in the UK. So I definitely recommend it if you can do it without thinking too much about it. But if you're in a position where maybe you don't have a lot of money or a lot of time in order to invest into kickstarting your career in UI UX, I'm here to tell you that you can definitely do it in other ways, and especially once you get the first 1, 2, 3 years of experience, then it just snowballs from there because everything becomes easier in terms of getting projects and getting a job and all that because you have the experience. So what you should really focus on is to how do I get the initial experience and ideally the good experiences. So that is the premise in order to answer the question. So the way that I would tackle it right now would be to, well, first of all, start studying online. There's a lot of, YouTube channels and YouTube videos that can give you a basic idea when it comes to the basic theory and also the software tutorials. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. But one of the problems when you're first starting out is that you don't really know also where to focus your efforts. So I would do one of two things. The first one would be to find a mentor, and it's not maybe as easy to find a good one because usually the good ones are the ones that already been there and done that and have the the job or the position that you ideally want to get into. So I would just reach out to designers that I really like and admire, and that's something that I actually did also when I was in high school and uni as well. And that was invaluable because I remember I had just like a couple of chats with them, either over a coffee or over the phone, and that really helped me to get some intel as to what are the things that really are useful and that I should really focus on that work in the real world. Because sometimes you get into schools and into courses where basically the teacher is not really teaching what works in the real world. So you ideally want someone who has a lot of experience in the real world and ideally practices in the industry at that moment, because even if you practice in the industry for a long time and you took maybe like a couple of years break, you're going to start to forget what is really important. So I would recommend that personally. And on top of that, I would recommend to go in, if you can, into either a part-time or full-time, maybe like 6 months or 12-month course. And by the end of the course, your goal should be all on having a good portfolio. Now, the portfolio at the start, of course, is going to be with side projects and projects that you just come up, so it's not real projects, but you can start gathering some real projects as well with that portfolio, especially low-hanging freelance gigs, and you essentially build it up from there. So I actually still today sometimes I got clients interested in working with me simply because they saw maybe like a UI kit or some work which was not like in the real world, and maybe it was like less complex than other projects which I worked for Fortune 500 companies and large businesses, but for some reason they really like the visuals, and that sparked the interest of hopping on a call with me. So definitely something to consider when you're first starting out. So you don't necessarily need to go to university. If you can, it's a cool experience and all, but you can definitely do it with a regular course. And on top of that, I would recommend to find a mentor who can guide you. And this can be even like a chat a month, or maybe like a chat every week. So it doesn't necessarily need to be someone who you pass all day with and or a lot of hours during the week. It's just someone that essentially can guide you from a high level and that you can ask questions to freely. So definitely keep that in mind. And yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And again, I've been a UI UX designer for over 9 years, so happy to share my thoughts and experience with you guys in the hope of helping you. And if you're interested in learning more about this and how to get started in UI UX design, I actually released a free course. You can check the link in the description. And yeah, also my channel, I have over 400 videos. So if you're interested in this topic in general, also software tutorials, feel free to check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.